Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher Grandmaster Stroud with my baby boy Ryan, my youngest, uh, on this excerpt. And I just want to talk about self-defense real quick, and I'm not going to waste your time, but I have a link that I'm going to put in the bottom of the description here. And I want to explain to you exactly what self-defense is. A lot of times you see people, they fool around with karate and martial arts, and they play in the streets. Martial arts is not a joke. No matter what the discipline is, you don't play with the martial arts. It is something that you take very seriously. It is a discipline. All arts are based on discipline as its core factor, if you will. And discipline physically, discipline mentally, emotionally, and so forth, that's what it's predicated on. So when it comes to self-defense, you must realize that self-defense is only an issue when you are protecting you, your bodily person, if you will, or a young person such as my son, or your family member, or someone who is helpless. That's the only time you ever use martial arts in the streets, is to protect someone who can't protect themselves from bodily injury and even death, potential death. So with that said, I have a link that I'm going to place in the bottom of this comment section and or description that's going to show you one of my earlier videos on the same thing that I did some years ago about vital spots. So if you're in a street situation or confrontation, don't try to go for bad. Don't try to be the biggest dog in the fight. Always look at the other person as if they are the worst person in the world. So you want to treat it that way, because if you act too passive, the person is going to overcome you, and they're probably more than likely going to hurt you really, really bad. So think of it as something very serious, and you are protecting your person, again, as I stated. So don't stand toe-to-toe with anyone, especially if you're a woman and it's a man or a bigger person, and think I'm going to slug it out with them. We don't do that. We use strategy, we use science, we use physics when we fight or defend ourselves. So you want to hit people in their vital spots or vulnerable areas on the bottom that's going to yield you an immediate response to get that person off of you so that you can go home to your family. It's really that simple. So the throat is always a good area. The eyes, the temple, the side of the neck, which is your blood supply to your brain, the groin or the testicles if it's a man that you're attacking, even a woman in the groin right below the navel and the bladder is a good target as well. Hit in vital areas, kicking them in the knees, striking them in the ankles. If you have on heavy shoes or boots, strike them in the ankles and scraping down the shins and so forth. We'll do that here in some up and coming videos with some of the students later, but right now I'm just talking to you from my desk. If I had to protect this young man in the street confrontation and his life was or his well-being was at stake, the other person has an issue. They have an issue with me, their father or his father, not simply because I'm a martial artist, but because he's a person who can't defend and or protect himself against somebody or some odds much greater than he is. So I'm not going to allow anyone to hurt me, incapacitate me, and I'm definitely not going to allow it to happen to my family members and my baby son. It's not going to happen. Not with me. You got the wrong person and you got the right person on that day. So enough of that. So again, as it comes down to and relates to self-defense, you only use self-defense in a situation where you are bodily going to be threatened, physically threatened, or a loved one is going to be threatened. I love my child, I love my family. If I saw you in the street and I'm capable and someone is overwhelming you physically and I can stop it by intervening some kind of way, I'm going to do that. It's really that simple, and we should all see it the same way. Now, err on the side of caution at the same time. You want to analyze the situation. Every situation is not a good situation or a great situation to involve yourselves. Sometimes it's best to just simply call the police, 911, say someone is being accosted, I can't help them, but I wanted to call you and let you know it's at this particular address and so forth. Or even shout at a distance, leave that person alone, I'm calling the police or whatever, stay at a distance. That's self-defense. It's not always you physically intervening, because sometimes you can end up being a casualty yourself. So, but in the quick scheme of things, if up close and personal, I'm here by myself, or I'm here with my son or another loved one, and someone is trying to accost us or accost him, they've got a problem with daddy. It's really that simple. Please check the link out that I'm leaving you at the bottom of this video. And much love. I'll see you in the next video. Tell them so long, Ryan.